Welcome to Judicial Dollars and Cents, brought to you by Anders Virtual CFO Services team from all across the United States. I'm John Scott, and in each episode, we'll shine a light on the financial side of the legal world, turning law firm numbers into impact-driven stories. From taxes and profitability to practice growth and leadership, we sit down with law firm innovators who are shaping the future of the profession. Let's dive in, right here on Judicial Dollars and Cents. Hey, welcome to Judicial Dollars and Cents, coming to you live from the PILMMA Super Summit in San Antonio, Texas. Today, our guest is Stuart Foster. Stuart, tell us about what you do and your firm does.
I have a company called Law Firm Fractional CMO, and we are marketing transformation experts. So we help firms transform their marketing into a growth engine. And we do it by deploying three things: a fractional CMO who's guided by a proven approach, and it was supported by some AI tools that really make them effective on day one.
We were talking a little bit before this. You don't just bring a CMO to the client, but you're bringing a team of people. So there's
exactly. We have about 20 CMOs right now. We're a small company, but we've got about 20 CMOs. And one of the things we've developed that's different is you get a specific CMO for your business, okay? But that CMO can only work on maximum 3 clients. So you're not getting one of these single shingle CMOs who has 12, 15, 20 clients. So that you're getting a large percentage of their time, but they're backed by all the other CMOs. And that we have a process that funnels all that information and all that knowledge through one of my partners back to that CMO. So you're really getting the collective knowledge of all of our CMOs and all of our capabilities.
I love that team approach, and we do the same thing. And there are a lot of people out there that are great at what we do, but they're really one-person gangs.
Yeah.
And so when you bring a team to it, you have that redundancy. If somebody wants to take PTO or vacation, someone else is there that knows the client and can jump in.
There's that, but for us, the real difference of the collective knowledge is that we don't want to have one CMO come into a law firm and deploy his marketing plan, right? And that's what you get with, I think, with a lot of the single shingles, is that they've worked there, they've kind of masked, a marketing plan across those 3, and now they come in and implement that in your firm. And that may not be the right strategy for your firm, right? So we have a process that we need to figure out what is the right plan for your firm, and we customize it. Now, our approach helps guide the CMO through that process so that we get to the right plan for that firm. And there is a framework of what a modern marketing engine should be in law firms today, and we've developed that. But then it has to be customized and adjusted. Los Angeles is not West Virginia, right? A 3-attorney law firm is not a 30-attorney law firm. $30,000 a month is not $1 million a month. And we've got clients that are across all of that. So it's kind of, I use the analogy a lot. I love the analogy of an engine, right? And I use the analogy of building a car. But am I building you an F1 Ferrari, or am I building you a Kia, or am I building you a 5 Series Mercedes, BMW? Like, what size engine, what size car, what are we doing? Is it a pickup truck? Is it a sedan, right? So I use that analogy to help lawyers understand that they expect us, when we come in to pitch, to actually tell them the marketing plan. And I tell them, we don't know what the marketing plan is going to be. What we're going to do is we start with an assessment and audit, and we go deep, right? We look at everything. We look at what kind of clients they're getting, what they're not getting, how are they spending their money, what's that mix, what's working, what's not working, how's their intake working. We sit with the CFO or anyone in finance, understand the economics of the firm, and then we first help them build a business strategy. You can't have a marketing strategy unless you have a business plan, and most law firms don't have a business plan, which is why they need a CFO. So we help them build that. What are your business goals? What segments do you want to go after? What case types? What geographies? How much growth do you want? Do you want 25% growth, or do you want 200% growth? And then you take all that knowledge of what's been working, what's not working, and where they want to go. And then you can build a marketing plan that says, all right, well, if you want to go like a rocket, then you need a marketing plan that's going to be like a rocket. If you want 10, 15, 20% growth, more modest growth, then you don't need to spend at the same level, or they're different tactics. So you've really got to, that's the strategic part. Marketing is not the execution part. And I think that's unfortunately what a lot of law firms think is, and I love the fractional model, for CFOs as well as CMOs, because I believe that we provide, and as do I think you're providing the level of expertise and knowledge, deeply seasoned executives that have done this at scale to a firm that otherwise couldn't afford them. And so these are, we don't have marketing managers. These aren't ex-agency digital marketers. These are people that have run marketing teams. I was head of marketing at Hilton. Okay, I ran a $400 million marketing budget for Hilton worldwide.
Right.
That's my level of expertise. I was CMO for Topgolf. Right. So this level of, if you wanted to hire me today full time, you're going to pay me $400,000 a year plus bonus, plus stock, plus everything. Right. It's going to cost you $800,000. Sorry, folks, that cost to hire that level of a CMO. Now, can you get me? I don't actually do the work anymore. I'm running the business. But, we bring in high level talent, and then you're buying a fraction of their time. So economically, it makes a ton of sense.
That is the real value proposition of fractional work, is that you're getting this great team of talent at a discounted rate because you're sharing it with other clients. But you're bringing that wealth of experience from all their backgrounds into your solution. And I love the fact that you don't come in with, and too many consultants have 5 arrows in their quiver, and they go, this is your solution.
Yeah.
When in reality, you need to figure out what needs to happen for the client and then develop with them a solution.
And we compete often with a lot of agencies. Unfortunately, we are not an agency. We actually work with agencies. We need agencies, and the good ones know that, and they like us because we bring order out of chaos.
Right.
We bring strategy, and they help with various parts of the execution. But if you ask a carpenter how to build a house, he's going to build you a wooden house. If you ask a mason how to build a house, he's going to build a brick house, right? It's sort of like you ask a web agency how to grow your business, they're going to tell you need a new website. Or if you ask an SEO agency how to grow your business, they're going to tell you need to do more SEO. It's their economic model. Of course, they're going to, we're agnostic to that spend. I do care, but I sort of say, I don't care how you spend your money, unless it drives signed cases. That's the only thing that matters in this business, is signed cases. That's the business measurement, right? So we're agnostic to whether it's SEO or television or PPC or SEO, GEO, all these tactics, right? Got to find the right mix that's going to advance the business forward.
Hey, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about AI and how it is affecting go-to-market and marketing strategies. I mean, it used to be all about SEO, but now the algorithms have changed to what content people need to produce to show up in the new.
Yeah, it's become more complicated. So we call it, we are moving our clients from an SEO strategy to a UEO strategy, unified engine optimization. And the unification is, on one side, SEO still matters, right? It's still very important. But on the other side, the way people are searching and the complexity with which they are searching for answers under GEO, or you can call it AEO, right? There isn't really but GEO with all the AI search engine summaries. This is where people are getting their information, right? I mean, searches are up in Google, but click-through rates are way down. And the time, people leaving the pages after getting the AI summaries is up like 25%. So what we're finding in the data is that people are getting the answers in the AI summaries. So you've got to be in the AI summaries. You need to move from ranking pages, that's SEO, to brand visibility. And notice I said brand versus page rank. It's not about page visibility, it's about your brand. And your brand is across, the internet, your web pages, your social media, your YouTube videos. So you've got to have a complete content strategy that is targeting towards the things that people are searching for. So we have a very complex way of helping our clients identify the keyword strings. And I don't like the word keyword anymore because it makes people think of a word.
Right.
It's actually strings of words. Why should I consider this attorney? What should I do if I've been in an accident and I've been approached by the insurance company? Should I settle with the insurance company's offer? People are putting in long queries, and they're getting longer, and they're getting more iterative. You've got to put content. You got to understand which of those queries are important, which of those are going to lead to signed cases, and then you need to effectively create content, landing pages, blogs, videos, social media content, FAQs. There's a ton of PR content that goes out on other people's websites to build your authority and trust. press coverage, all these things. This is all content that is going to help our brand increase the tool that does this using AI. And, I get the question a lot of, well, isn't Google going to shun that? Isn't it going to diminish that because it's AI created? And the answer is it hasn't for us and our clients. We're seeing our clients, their brand visibility is showing up in as fast as 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow.
So the old adage of it takes months to get it right was because you had humans doing it.
Right.
Now we've got an AI, and the AI is getting it better. So the AI knows how to structure the article. It knows the exact length of characters that it needs to be in the H1, the H2, the H3. It knows the paragraphs. It puts the FAQs in. Like, it organizes it in a way that would take a human, hours to do, and it does it in seconds. So, but that framework of the article is not just copied and pasted like out of ChatGPT and thrown onto a website. That's the stuff that gets suppressed. But you have to take that content and then you have to build the landing page. So the web agency is still very important to build that. And it's the same as if a human wrote the article and gave it to the web agency to build the page. So it's just that the AI engine is building various parts of it and organizing it.
I love that strategy, and AI is moving so fast and the algorithms are going to change, but it sounds like you guys have, at least you're on the front end of trying to figure out how to get that brand visibility and authority up there.
They're enablers. We were talking about this last night. AI really is, I think everyone should think of them as enablers. It's not replacing things. It's enabling. It's enabling our CMOs to be more effective. They're able to get that brand visibility sooner, faster, and more effectively, and in quantity. Right. So it's an enabler. And I think a lot of it, AI is changing the way people search. And so AI is changing the way we do creative. Right. There's a big discussion about television commercials being produced the traditional way, lights, camera, action, versus a green screen and AI. Right now, we like the hybrid approach. There are certain types of TV commercials that need to be produced the more traditional way, video production. And then there's other ones, generally more awareness driving, that tend to be more entertaining. The funny ones, lawyer, Superman capes. You've seen the big Mike Moore stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jumping up on top of a truck as it's getting into an accident and coming down with a sword. It's entertainment, and it has a place, but it shouldn't necessarily replace the serious content about we are lawyers and we help people and we're protecting people. So we like the hybrid approach. Now,
I do love lawyer advertising. I mean, some of it's campy and funny. And in St. Louis, there's the Onder law firm.
Yeah,
Jim Onder was,
of course,
doing it.
The bobsled and the ski stuff he did for the Olympics.
Right, and he was dunking on a basketball court, and that's just kind of campy and funny. But then he gets back to more serious stuff. And of course, we have Brown and Crouppen and Morgan & Morgan's come to town, so that's really stepped up everyone's game on lawyer advertising. So we with firms that are 3 to 50 billers on, or we don't care if they're contingent firms, hourly. We work on a subscription basis. I assume you do the same thing. And what's an ideal client for you all?
Yeah, really, an ideal client is anyone who is frustrated that they don't know if their marketing's working, and they're spending money on marketing. They don't know if they have the right channels active. They don't know if they have the right channel mix in terms of dollars, and they really just are frustrated because they don't know what's going on, and they know it should be better. That's sort of the ideal client. From a size standpoint, it usually is sort of, from 5 to 15 attorneys. Maybe we have clients that have 30 attorneys. You just mentioned one of them, Brown and Crouppen. And so they're a big firm.
I love their podcast, by the way.
And we have some that are 1 and 2. We charge a monthly retainer, and that retainer does not fluctuate. Form the marketing function. How many agencies are they managing? How much of the budget? How many activities are they managing? How complex is the problem? Is really but it's usually about 35%. It's a monthly retainer, and it doesn't change. And we give a 30-day out to every one of our clients. We don't make them sign long-term contracts. I don't believe in it, and right. I think it's criminal that some agencies force people into long-term contracts. Why would you want to keep working with someone who's not doing their job?
Right. We're in the same boat. We don't have a long-term commitment. We do ask for 30 days, but...
Yeah, we do that. Right, 30 days. That's only so that I can put the CMO onto another business and have time to put them on a new client.
Transition to work.
Because it's their livelihood. It's sort of their salary, right?
Well, Stuart, this has been fantastic.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, this has
And
been
thank
fun.
you
Thank
all
you.
for joining us on Judicial Dollars and Cents. And we will see you in just a few minutes with a new guest. Thanks for joining us on Judicial Dollars and Cents, presented by Anders Virtual CFO Services. If you found value in today's conversation, be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcast. To learn more about how Anders helps law firms strengthen their financial foundations and drive growth, visit anderscpa.com. Until next time, keep making smart decisions that make perfect sense.